What's going on? Welcome back to Know for a Fact. Serial killers have become a huge inspiration for TV series and films in the last few years because they seem so fascinating to people. Someone who cold-heartedly murders several people without any kind of remorse can truly be shocking. Through the years, there have been reports of murders and deaths at the hands of killers across the world. Their stories are now an entertainment medium for the curious public. In this list of 10 serial killer facts, let's dive deep into the minds of these normal people turned psychopaths. Based on research, serial killers have a knack when it comes to blood and suffering. But did you know that they could also target their own families? Edmund Emil Kemper III is a perfect example of that. He's an American serial rapist, killer, necrophile, and cannibal. In his time, he murdered at least 10 people, including his mother and paternal grandparents. Not only that, but he's also remarkably noticeable as he's 6 feet 9 inches tall and has an IQ of 145. Next on this list is Mark Brandon Reid. He was one of Australia's most renowned killers. One of the most interesting serial killer facts in this list is his story. Reid was a gang member and a convicted criminal. But he was not only known for that, he was also a writer. When he was still alive, he wrote children's books and autobiographical fiction crime novels. When he knew that he had a terminal case of liver cancer, he confessed to all of his murders. Reid did it during an interview with the TV show 60 Minutes. Needless to say, everyone was shocked by his revelations. Not all of this next serial killer's victims remembered him. David Parker Ray, or also widely known as the Toy Box Killer, kidnapped, raped, and tortured women. Surprisingly, many of his victims survived the ordeal. But not all of them could remember him and what happened at that time. Ray would kidnap these women, drug them, and use them as his sex slaves for many months. Before he dropped them off the road, he would clean them thoroughly. One of the most chilling serial killer facts indeed. Can you believe this? Only 16 years of prison sentence for this next serial killer who killed more than 300 people. Colombia is known for a lot of things. Pedro Lopez's story is one that people would be shocked to know about. He's a child killer and a certified killer who was convicted of killing at least 110 girls. Lopez even claimed to have killed and raped at least 300 girls from Ecuador, Colombia, and Peru. But did you know that he only got 16 years in prison for his crimes? That's because, at that time, it was the only maximum possible sentence that a person could get in Ecuador. Lopez was released from prison in Ecuador in 1994, after which he was deported to and institutionalized in Colombia. Lopez was released from psychiatric care in 1998 and is currently a wanted fugitive in connection with a murder committed in 2002. As of 2023, Lopez's whereabouts remain unknown. This next fact is very unfortunate, but some kids can be serial killers in the making. Children are innocent in nature. But Mary Bell was an English child who proved to be different. When she was only 10 years old, she strangled 2 boys to death in West End, Newcastle. What's chilling with this is that she left notes about her killings and even had the audacity to visit the victim's mother. Bell asked the mother if she missed her sons or if she was sad. Later that year, she got convicted of manslaughter. What about a serial killer and a ringleader at the same time? Richard Kuklinski was a murderer and a criminal. In most of his adult life, he was involved in all sorts of criminal activities. Kuklinski was the leader of a burglary ring and was a distributor of pirated pornography. He put one of his victims in an oil drum in front of a diner to see how long someone would notice. Most of his victims were led to believe he'd have business offers only to meet their untimely death in the hands of Kuklinski. This next one might surprise you. The Angel of Death was once a hero before becoming a serial killer. Joseph Mengele was a physician and an SS officer during World War II. Before all of this, he was awarded for his bravery as he jumped into a tank that was burning to save a wounded soldier. But things shifted from there. Mengele became known as the Angel of Death because he was the one who performed experiments on prisoners in the Auschwitz II camp. He was also part of the doctors who chose who would be in the gas chambers. Indeed, a Nazi serial killer in all their evil ways. We already have a background on who Jeffrey Dahmer is. But one interesting serial killer fact about him is that he made sex zombies. He would drill holes in his victims' heads while they were still alive. And then he'd pour acid in these holes. This is a truly obscene and demented fact. Next is Mac Ray Edwards. He was a known serial killer in America from the 1950s to the 1970s. He was not only a serial killer, but he was also a child abuser. Edwards sexually abused his victims from ages 6 and up. Most of his victims were from Los Angeles, California. He was a Caltrans heavy equipment operator. With this, some of his victims' dead body parts were found in one of the freeways he worked on. According to Edwards, he also had victims that were disposed of in the Ventura Freeway and Santa Ana Freeway. Moving on to our final fact of this video. White people are most likely prone to becoming serial killers. In the US, most of the convicted serial killers are white males and single. The majority of them come from middle to lower class backgrounds. There are also known serial killers coming from Asian, African, and Hispanic backgrounds. But the FBI said in a report that based on numbers and percentages, most serial killers come from the white race. It might be odd for some, but this is definitely one of those shocking serial killer facts to date. That's all for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button for more daily facts. See ya!